Artur Menezes. Welcome to Sound Advice. So there's many ways that you can play over minor progressions, right? So if it's something that is not a blues progression, but you want to sound bluesy, what do? So you use minor pentatonic, right? And we all know minor pentatonic, I think. At least it was the first thing I learned when I was playing the guitar. So minor pentatonic, if we're in the key of A, right? A minor. So I'm gonna play. Right, so it's tonic, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7. And then just repeat the same. Tonic, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, tonic, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, and keep going, right? So when you have those 5 shapes of the minor pentatonic, you literally only playing 5 notes. You just keep repeating them in different positions and in different octaves, right? So that's one way that you can do that. But you can also spice up a little bit your playing. So let's say we're playing a minor blues, right? And of course, you have to sound bluesy. It's a blues song, but you can sound a little bit more sophisticated. You can kind of spice up your playing a little bit. When I do that, what I do is playing notes that are outside of the minor pentatonic. First note, and I bet many of you guys know already, is the sharp 4 or flat 5, which some people like to call the blue note, right? So if I have my tonic, my flat 3, my 4, this is my sharp 4, right? Here again, or here, right? So I'm in the key of A, it's gonna be my E flats, or my D sharps, whatever you want to call, right? So I like to use that note a lot, and I like to add different notes too. So instead of thinking scales, of course I can think scales. I can think like, okay, I'm gonna play over this minor blues song. I can play Aeolian or natural minor, or I can play harmonic minor where I have my major 7, right? Or I can play my melodic minor where I have my major 6 and my major 7. I can think like that too. Although I don't like thinking like that, I like to think notes, right? Intervals, because it just makes more musical. Because when you think a scale, you kind of think playing notes in an order, where you kind of feel like trapped in a cage, so you have to play those notes. And I like to mix. So I like to take my minor pentatonic and I like to add notes from those scales, or notes that are not necessarily in the scales, but create some tensions that I can cause some resolution and sounds cool. The first one that I like to use a lot is the major 7, which is the one that you find in the harmonic minor. So I'm playing my blues, right? With my minor pentatonic in my sharp 4. And I like to add that. Sorry. Right, so I go. So it just creates a little bit of tension, right? So. And I can go like, and play that major 7, which is here. I can play right here. So I can play some cool stuff using the sharp 4 too. So I go something like. And of course I can do that for all the degrees. So when I'm playing the blues and I go to my 4 chord, I can do the same. I can go like, right? Right, you go up. And now I just played one more note, which is the next note I'm going to talk about, which is the 9, right? So if I'm playing the key of A, not if, I am playing the key of A, so I have my 9 is going to be B. So now I can use that note too, and that's right here, it's here, it's here, right, it's here. So I can do like a. Right? So I can go like. So I can do stuff like a. Just really cool. I like it a lot. So yeah, so you can do a lot of stuff like Stevie Ray Vaughan was doing a lot like. But he also was adding the flat 9. So. So you can do stuff like that. And also you can add your minor 6, which is from the Aeolian, right? So you can add it right here. So you can do some more kind of melodic stuff like a... And if you play fast, it's actually cool, you know, because sometimes when you land on those notes for too long, like the minor 6, there's a little bit of tension with the bass, right? It sounds a little bit weird, at least to my ears. Instead of playing like a 5 or sharp 4-2 has some tension, it has some tension, right? It's cool, but it's a little bit weird, so you have to always resolve, right? So I think those are the notes that I will be doing. And of course I can do that for all the degrees, like I said. So when I go to my 4, and that's a cool thing when you change chords. So the interval that used to be the minor 6 for the 1 is gonna become the minor 3rd for the 4. So it's something that is cool too. You know, you have to always be aware of that, because the cool thing about knowing intervals, it's like because you know the chord tones, and when you know the chords and the chord tones, you know what you play is gonna sound good, right? Especially if you're trying to spell the chords, right? So you can do that for your 4, right? Right? For your 1 again. A lot of possibilities. For your 5, the same thing, right? So you can do stuff like that. And another cool thing that I like to mention about playing, 2 things actually. When you play over a minor progression to make more exotic or sophisticated, I like to do this. So on my bar number 4, right? So if you're playing the 12-bar blues, minor blues, you know that you stay 4 bars in the first chord, and then on bar number 5 you go to the 4, right? If it's a slow change version, so you stay 4 bars in the 1, and then you go in the 5th bar, you go to the 4 chord, which is a D minor 7, right? So I can do something like this. I'm playing my blues, and when I go to bar number 4, and it's like the last 2 beats, I can think of this chord. So what I'm doing is I'm altering my main chord, but this altering that I'm doing is just changing the thirds. So I had my minor chord with the minor 3rd, and I'm adding the major 3rd. And if you play that in a solo contest, so you go like a... It's just a chromatic thing actually. It's like I'm going from this minor 3rd, and I'm using this note as a passage, and then I go to my tonic, which is the tonic for the 4, right? But if you think in another way, it's just like I'm playing the 5 of the 4 minor, right? So I'm doing like this. I can also alter the chord. I can do like with the flat 6 or sharp 5, whatever you want to call it. And I can play some altered scale over this. You know? And so I like to do that stuff. So I'm playing my blues. So you see, I just played that note, and then I did some chromatic thing, and then I landed on a chord tone. And that's the good thing. When you go a little bit out of, you playing some extra notes that don't really belong to that chord or to the progression. In the case if I'm playing a minor blues and I'm playing the major 3rd, it's not a note that you should avoid, right? So when you play something like that, you're creating the tension, make sure to resolve the tension. And the way I like to do that is landing on the chord tone from the next chord, right? So of course I could land on the tonic, right? I don't like that much landing on the tonic because the bass is already playing the tonics, you know. So if I go and I play the tonic, I'm just telling where I am, but I'm not telling who I am, right? So I have to tell I'm minor, so I have to play this note here. So that's why I like to all the time landing on the thirds. And if it was a major song, it would be my major third, right? So yeah. So you know, I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry if it was a lot of information, but that's the cool thing. You can always stop the video, you know, go back, try it again. And thanks to Dario for having me. I've been using the Dario strings for a long time, and I'm happy to be endorsed by them. And I love the strings a lot. I use different kinds of gauges. I use usually 11s or 10s or 10 and a half. There was a time that I was playing with 12s. So I always like to experiment with those. And actually now I think these are 1052. Yeah, I like the thing with the bottom strings more thicker. But yeah, hope this was helpful, and I hope I inspired you playing somehow. Alright? Take care. Bye.